So what we're going to go through today are these 4 points. So what meditation is for anybody that hasn't meditated, so that you can go away from today practicing this by yourself. Number 2, why is it so important? And particularly, why it's so important now, today, in this day and age that we're living in. Number 3, what are the benefits of meditation? Why we should be doing this. And lastly, and most importantly, we will do a meditation, a deeper meditation, so you can really feel in your body what happens when we meditate. What does it feel like to me? So you can come back to this place. So what is meditation? There is many different ways to meditate, many different understandings of meditation. But for me, meditation is simply a practice of being with yourself, of switching the focus away from the external world and all of the many, many distractions, particularly our iPhones, which we're all completely addicted to these days, and turning the focus inwards, listening to yourself, establishing a relationship with you. We know that as we travel through the world, we need to put time and energy into relationships with other people, but somehow we forget that the relationship with ourselves is our primary relationship. We're who we are with from the moment we're born to the moment we pass. Surely that relationship is something to invest more time in. Why do we need it? I think there's 2 different reasons here that we need it. And the first, and something that I'm feeling really passionate about at the moment, is emotional intelligence versus artificial intelligence. Meaning, we are in a world where technology is enhancing and growing so fast, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. In many ways, technology can help us. But what it is doing is it's stopping us be able to connect to ourselves. It's taking away real human connection, which all of us crave. Our attention spans are known to be 15 seconds these days, and meditation can really become the counteract to that. So our attention span can slow down. We can allow our concentration to get better by turning the focus in, even for 10 minutes a day. Creativity. There's research that is showing that when we are in our analytical mind, so when we're on our phones, when we're busy rushing around, when we're doing our emails, we're shutting down our creative force, that side of the mind that is filled with ideas. Think about the last time you had an idea. When I read books about the big thinkers of the world, often they say it's in times of silence. So they're meditating, they're in the shower, they're going for a walk in nature. We need to create space for an idea to drop in, rather than really willing ourselves and willing an idea to come by writing and emailing. Like, sometimes we need to stop, and meditation creates that space. The second part is all about our health and well-being. So mental health is the worst it has ever been in the world. There is a pandemic of loneliness, despite us being completely connected. We're all on our phones all the time. We're on social media. We feel like we're connected to hundreds of thousands of people. But the reality is, we're actually deeply connecting to far less people in our lives. I know it even from my friends. Sometimes I think I've had conversations with people. I feel like I'm connected, but actually I've just seen them post a video on social media. So I believe that meditation and learning to connect with yourself is the starting point to create better connection with the world around us. It all starts within. How compassionate, how loving we're being for ourselves allows us to open up into the world in a much more loving and compassionate way. And that's where deep connection is found. They've done some research on the minds of monks, and their minds are the healthiest of anybody else. The neuroplasticity in their mind is really good because as you meditate, all the different areas of your brain are activated. So we spend so much of our time trying to physically not age, worrying about the face, worrying about physical exercise, but doing meditation is like a workout for the mind. And we want our minds to have longevity. We want our minds to last. So for me, these are the 2 major reasons why we need it now and in society right now. And these are them. Did you know that 74% of adults are currently struggling with stress and overwhelm? I put this figure there because that means that 3/4 of this room And I know I feel that a lot of the time are feeling anxious and stressed. And meditation is the antidote to this. So let us all, I hope today's talk inspires just that curiosity into what if I just did 5 or 10 minutes of this every day? What difference could it make? Now we move into the benefits of meditation. So for me, there is 3 components to this. Number 1, connection. As I've just explained, for me, connection starts within. The way that we connect with the world around us is the way that we're connecting to ourselves. I give you an example of this. When we're feeling stressed and anxious and we're feeling unkind to ourselves, we tend to look at the world through those eyes and we see the world as quite unkind. When we feel compassionate and loving to ourselves, when you walk down the road and you smile at someone, they tend to smile back. So when we work on connection to self, inevitably, this leads to a better connection and a happier connection to the world around us. Number 2, calm. In a world that feels like it's moving at 1,000 miles an hour, I don't know how many times this year I've said, I can't believe it's May, I can't believe it's June. I feel like we blink and all of a sudden another month has come. This is meditation almost like creates its own timeline. It slows everything down. It allows us to become present in a world that is so often focused on the future and the past. Meditation brings us into the beauty of the present moment. And that doesn't always mean that the present moment is peaceful. It doesn't mean that there's not chaos happening in the world around. But how I describe meditation, it's like our thoughts and the busyness and the emails, they're just the waves on the surface of the ocean. When you dive deeper, for anybody that scuba dived, this is true. When you dive beneath the messiness and the busyness at the surface, there's a deep tranquility that lies within, a deep calm. And that's the same as meditation. When we go deeper than the thoughts, when we go deeper than the busyness, we land in a tranquility, a calm within us. And that's why we should all be doing just a little bit of this as often as we can. And number 3 is our well-being, which I already covered, but really important for the health and well-being of our minds. I love this quote, "Silence is essential. We need silence just as much as we need air, just as much as plants need light. If our minds are crowded with words and thoughts, there is no space for us." So now we come on to how to meditate. It's an interesting one because there is not one way to meditate. So I think sometimes the best description of how to meditate is to talk through some of the misconceptions and some of the things that meditation is not, so that you feel it's approachable for you. So firstly, there are so many ways to meditate. There's so many different schools of thought and teachers and teachings around meditation. There's movement meditation, there's visualizations, there's chanting, there's obviously lots of the traditional being seated in stillness. But what I will say, if you've tried one kind of meditation and it didn't work for you, don't give up. Try something else, find a new teacher, listen to a new guided practice. There is always a practice that will work for your body and your needs in the present moment. So get curious, try lots of different kinds of meditation, and you will find something that works for you. It is a practice of experience. I so often think that as humans, we try and make logical sense of everything. We're always trying to understand, to ask questions, and here I am talking about how to meditate. But actually, meditation is about the practice of being with yourself. So yes, there's guidance. Yes, there's ways that I can tell you and teach you to get into it. But ultimately, meditation happens to you personally. It's your own practice. It's your own individual experience. Start short and build your way up. We don't have to find an hour in the day to start a meditation practice. There's research that says 10 minutes a day can have a profound impact on our inner world, on our minds. So allow yourself 5 to 10 minutes in the morning, in the evening, wherever you have it, to turn the focus inwards, to breathe, to get curious with how you feel. Schedule time for nothingness. When you do your busy to-do lists, do you ever schedule time for nothingness? I don't think I did before I learned the power of meditation, because sometimes nothingness and silence is invisible, and we don't prioritize it in our busy lives. We go to the gym, we do our emails, we do all the other checklists, we tidy the house, but it's actually the silence that can be the most powerful place to learn, to listen to our intuition, to get to know who we are and how to live from that place. You don't need to have a quiet mind to start meditation. A big misconception that I hear is that I tried meditation once, my mind was really busy, it's obviously not for me. The point isn't that you start with a quiet mind. The point is that you start, that you listen to the busyness of the mind, and you redirect your thoughts back to the beginning, and that is meditation. It's not about the end goal, it's about the journey. So for those that are science-minded, which when I first started this practice, I very much was, I really wanted to know, is my mind ever going to stop? I'm always busy, I'm always rushing around, but does it ever stop? And so I spoke to a neuroscientist, Dr. Tamara Russell, who is a specialist in this, and this is what she told me. The mind will never stop. Meditation isn't about stopping the mind, it is a thinking machine, and we should be really grateful that it works in the right way by thinking, analyzing. Our job in meditation is to start with the attention network. So we go into the breath, we concentrate on the breath or the guidance of the meditation. Inevitably, your mind will wander. Oh my gosh, did I send that last email? I've got so much to do today. Do I really have time for this? All of those thoughts will start. Your practice is about noticing, oh, my mind's wandered. That thought's come into my head, and oh, I noticed that's a thought. Bring your awareness back to the breath, back to the guidance. And it's in this awareness piece, and then coming back into the breath, that you are meditating. It's like a spring clean for the mind. We just keep focusing, getting distracted, bringing it back. And the more times you do this, we end up spending a lot more time in the focus state than in the distraction. Here's my favorite part. Let us meditate. So if we can have the music on, please. Get yourself comfortable again. If you need to move, if you need to stretch, give yourself permission, whatever you need. Let it be playful. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And again, deep, full breath in. Let it go. Slowly begin to draw the focus inwards. Let go of the world around you, just for this time. And bring your full focus into your inner space. Imagine that all of the busyness, all of the thoughts are just the waves of the surface. Let us dive a little bit deeper. Begin to deepen the breath. Slowing everything down. With every round of breath, creating more space. And taking your awareness all the way down to the base of your spine. Imagine roots like a tree growing deep into the earth beneath you. Deeper and deeper. Imagine all of our roots beneath us intertwining. A sense of connection, togetherness. A feeling of being held and supported. belly. Let go of any holding. Let the awareness draw up into your chest. Feel your heart expanding, like there is a light deep at the center of your heart. And this light begins to radiate, opening through the front of your heart, the giving, the back of your heart, the receiving, brighter and brighter. Let the awareness draw into the mind, between your eyebrows and deep within the mind. Let your mind soften. Let your entire physical body relax. And meet your awareness back in your heart space. Back in your internal home. Ask yourself again, how do I feel? Begin to build a relationship with yourself. Let us be for a moment in stillness and silence. Let yourself come home. Come home to yourself. Take a deep, full, nourishing breath in. Sigh it out. One more time, deep breath in. Sigh it out. Begin to bring gentle movements back to your fingers, your toes. Bring the palms of your hands together, rubbing them to create energy and warmth. Place your hands over your eyes, soothe your eyelids. Only as and when you feel ready, let little bits of light back in. Come back into our space. It always blows my mind how much the energy can shift from just a few minutes. This is all it takes. I really hope that this has inspired you to do short practices or long practices if you have time, to come home to yourself, to get to know your intuition. The more silent we become, the louder our intuitive voice comes through, the more we become ourselves and the more we show up authentically in the world around us. I am so passionate about this work. Always asking yourself the question every morning before you begin, how am I feeling? Before I go into my day, before I do anything else, check in with this scale. Do you need to give yourself a little bit more love and compassion in the morning before you enter into the day? So the three main takeaways I would love you all to take from this session is the time for meditation is now. If you don't have a regular practice, please start one, not for anybody else but yourself. It feels so important, and the way it has changed my life, I really pray it can do for everybody else that I can possibly reach and touch. Number two, just to be aware of this emotional intelligence versus artificial intelligence. As the rise of technology keeps rising, this meditation is the antidote to bringing deeper connection, to bringing us back together, to live more compassionately to ourselves and in the greater world around us. And number three, these three things to remember. Coherent breathing, the breath that we did, 6 seconds in, 6 seconds out. If you do this every morning, you will feel your nervous system calm. It's such a beautiful way to start your day. Number two, 10 minutes of morning meditation can be completely transformative. And number three, spend time in nature. Nature is our biggest teacher. We watch as it gets light, it gets dark. We watch as the seasons change. We need to be doing that for ourselves. Finding time, like in the summer, to be really active. Finding our own internal winters to get quiet and still. So thank you all so much for having me here. It has been such an honor to share what I am most passionate about, which is meditation.